What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to talk about the 3-step and the 5-step drop for quarterbacks and 3 tips you can do to improve your dropbacks. Let's get started. All right, guys, before I get into the first tip about getting a lot of depth on your drop, I want to talk to you about my website, okay? If you're a quarterback and you got to get better at reading coverages, you want to be able to understand defenses, know what the defense is going to do before they even do it, which puts together all the stuff that we work, all the drills that we work. When can you apply that stuff and you want to improve your football IQ? Check out that link in the description, guys, and get signed up on my website. We break down 16 NFL defenses every single month. Hope I can get you guys signed up. So the first thing about this drop, especially on a 3-step drop, is my first step, because that's my depth step. So what a lot of guys will do is they'll be here and this step will go behind them, right? I'm not getting any depth that way. The shortest distance between 2 objects is straight across, right? So if I'm able to go straight back, that's what's going to get me depth. Now, what a lot of guys do is they try to get too much depth, especially on rhythm drops, like when we're throwing a bang 8 or a speed out, any kind of timing throw where we don't necessarily need to get a lot of depth. Your feet got to be in rhythm. Guys will race back, and then they're 2-3, they're leaning all the way back on their back leg, right? I want to be getting depth here, and then my 2-3 are violent and get me to my 60% on my back leg, 40% on my front leg base, okay? Then same thing with a 5-step drop. My depth steps are the first and the third step. So when I take a 5-step drop, it's a big 1, crossover 2, even bigger 3, 4, 5. Aggressive 4, 5. The last 2 steps of the drop have to be violent to get yourself set. So that first step of the 3-step drop and that first and that third step drop need to be straight back, because those are your depth steps. All right, guys, so earlier in the video, I mentioned the rhythm of the drop, right? So how we got to change up the rhythm with my feet. This is something I want to address right now. So there are times where maybe, let's say I'm throwing, say like a 12 to 14 yard dig, right? I got to get some depth back here, hitch up rhythm and throw, right? Depth is important, especially for a guy like me who's not very tall. I got to make sure I get some depth on my drop. Now, let's say I'm throwing a hard post, bang 8, right? Or a speed out. I want to have some rhythm in my feet. So I don't need to be all the way back here, because 1, that's going to screw up the timing, and I'm not going to be able to get the ball out right when I hit my back leg. That's the most important thing about timing. So my drop can almost be in place, so my feet are in rhythm and I'm in rhythm with the throw. Now, I talked about changing up the tempo, right? Let's say I'm throwing to a bigger guy. Let's say he's about a 6'5" outside receiver, and the 200 pounds, he's walked down, cut a split down, he's gonna run a speed out, right? Or he's running a bang 8. I'm not necessarily gonna be super quick with my feet, because I know the change of the play is gonna be different when that's my design first read, okay? So I gotta give it some time. I gotta change up the speed. If you guys wanna listen to another video about a professional explaining this, there's a video of Josh Rosen when he's getting ready for the draft, and he's working out, he's training with Aaron Rodgers, and Rodgers talks about how every single drop is different. Changing up the speed, changing up the tempo is a good way to get your feet in rhythm with the play. All right, guys, so the last thing we're going to talk about today is how your feet should be while you're dropping back. Because what I see a lot of guys do is, 1, they'll turn this front hip because they're running and they're on their toes, right? I want to be cutting grass with my feet. Reason being, when it's time to throw and I got to drive this ball, let's say, again, I'm throwing with some rhythm, or I got to hitch up into a deep dig, a comeback, whatever. My feet got to be in the ground, obviously, right? So you want to cut grass with your cleats. So when I drop, it's almost like a glide. I'm here, and I'm keeping my feet close to the ground, cutting grass, okay? This is a very overlooked aspect of this drop. Everybody thinks it's just, oh, it's easy to just drop and throw. Your drops have to be smooth, and you got to be able to get to your balanced base and your strong base fast and efficiently, right? So I got to make sure when I take this drop, my feet are close, so when it's actually time to throw, I can just get set, get the ball out of my hand. So I got to make sure when I drop, I'm just cutting grass with my feet. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. And again, if you want to get better reading coverages, you struggle being able to identify defenses, check out that link in the description. Get signed up on my website. I promise you, it is some of the best NFL defensive breakdowns, guys. And please leave in the comments any questions you guys have. I'll see you next time.